Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. So, we are here on some sort of service station on the motorway. The reason I'm here because I have a live session with a guest, and I wasn't going to make it in time to the office, so I thought I'll just stop off. And I don't like to keep people waiting, so we are here, and we are going to be going live with Graham, who is a civil engineer who runs a civil engineering business, and he also consults and coaches people on fitness, keeping healthy and happy. So let's talk to him about everything that he does. And Graham McKegg, here we go. Graham,
How you doing, buddy?
good, and yourself?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm just in my car because I was on the motorway. I was in Somerset all day today, just taking on a property. So I wouldn't make it in time to the office, so I thought I'll just stop off and get on with the live session right now. How are
Good
you
man.
doing?
I'm doing very good. Doing very good, mate. I'm just back at run, so just had a shower, so feeling good.
Good stuff. Well, firstly, thank you so much for coming on this live and taking out your time in terms of sharing the knowledge of what you do, and of course, spreading positivity through that. So thank you so much for joining me on the mission.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for asking me, buddy.
Super. Graham, before we move forward with our conversation, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what exactly is it that you do.
No problem at all. So my name's Graham McKegg, and I'm from Glasgow. I'm 33. I was going to say 32, but I was 33 a couple of weeks ago. And
It's hard to remember the new age, right?
I know, mate. It is because I've been used to saying it for a year.
And
But
by the time you get used to 33, you're like 34. It just keeps climbing.
I know. Crazy. I'm 33 years old. I am a civil engineer. I've been doing that for the last 10 years. And I also coach people online get in better shape, because when I was younger, I used to struggle with weight problems, and I always wanted to have a good body. It was something I struggled with when I was at school. I didn't feel confident in myself. And then about 5 years ago, I hired a coach who was an online coach, but I basically met up with him one day a week for 6 months, and he taught me how to diet, and it completely changed my life because I felt more confident. I got the body that I'd been chasing all my life for. It just made me a lot more confident in life. And then I thought to myself that I wanted to help other people experience what I experienced, because it allowed me to become a lot more ambitious in work. It allowed me to actually do a little bit of a property investment myself as well. I just kind of do that on the side. So that kind of gave me the courage to go on some courses to find out about how to raise money and things. And then I liked the idea of being able to help people online, but also grow my engineering business as well. So that's whereabouts I'm at right now.
Super. Well, we're going to learn all about keeping healthy and fit on this live session today. But I want to take you a few years back into your childhood, into your teenage years. When we
Yeah.
were all growing up as kids, and we see a lot of careers in front of us, like whether it's our parents,
Yeah.
our family, and other people that we meet, and we see all these careers, like someone's a doctor, someone's a lawyer,
Yeah.
someone's an accountant,
Yeah.
someone's a musician, maybe somewhere in the Hollywood, whatever it is. I mean, did you aspire to become something else than what you are today, or you always had that sort of mindset that I'm going to get into building, civil
Mhm.
engineering?
Mhm.
Obviously, exercise and everything came at a later stage, keeping healthy.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
did you always think that you wanted to do that, or stick to what you
Yeah.
knew? I mean, in terms of civil
No, I
engineering.
think the reason why that I chose to do my job as a civil engineer was because my older brother did that. So I've got an older brother who is 10 years older than me, and he did that. So when I was at school, he was at university. When he got a job, I saw him make good money. So I had a nice car, a nice house, and I says, that's what I want to do. So I never picked it because I enjoyed building. I picked it because I kind of looked up to him and I saw him make good money. So that's why I chose it. So I
So
think it's,
you used him as your inspiration in
That's
terms
it.
of where you
Yeah.
wanted to get to in life.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So I never picked it because I really liked it, and I would say that I picked it mainly because he was doing it, and I just saw him make good money. That's why I picked it. I then get into it and realised it was good. A lot of opportunities within construction, and but I think when I was at school, the reason why I picked it is that a lot of people, where when you have to pick what you wanted to do at the end of school, people were getting stressed out about what they wanted to do, and I never, like, it never came into my head to do anything else. All I said was is that I was going to do that, and it was, in a way, it was quite good
And in
because,
terms of civil engineering, you have to be good at maths, you have to be good at physics, all those
yeah,
kind of things that put
yeah,
together, especially
yeah,
mathematics. So,
yeah.
did you sort of, were you good at maths and physics and all that? Or,
Actually, actually, I was very average. I was very average. I didn't even get, so in Scotland they call it higher. So I didn't even get a higher maths because I didn't have the brains to do that. So I got an intermediate 2A in maths, and I actually had a tutor who helped me. So I was very average in maths. So I never got straight into university. I went to college first,
okay,
and I studied construction management at college, and then I did well at college, and I went into my third year at university. So I came out with a
got you.
bachelor's in construction management is what my degree's in. I just say civil engineering because I'm
It's
out on
easier to
building.
understand.
It's easy to understand, and
Absolutely.
and I do basically. So I basically build things in terms of, if you're going to build a road, I use a piece of equipment which basically tells us whereabouts it goes. So that's what I do.
Super. So, I mean, when you came out of university, and a lot of graduates, me and you are the sort of same age. I'm 35, you're 33, but
Yeah, yeah,
when we came out of university, this was like what, 2008,
yeah,
2006.
yeah.
Market had
Right in the credit crunch. Right in the credit
exactly
crunch.
market had crashed.
Yeah,
Not everyone. I mean, because I got into a state agency, you got into
yeah,
civil engineering,
yeah,
but how did you face the job market? How was it getting out there and applying for a job, and then
yeah,
getting that job that sort of excelled you in your career? How was it?
yeah. So to be honest, just before I go on, I can see one of the guys that I went to college and university with is actually on the live. So, all right, Jamie, how you doing, my man? I just wanted to give him a wee shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I was in university, and I got interviewed because construction companies come into the university because they were looking to take people out of university now. And because I'd had quite a lot of site experience, I'd been on site for a couple of years where anytime I had spare time, I would go and work on a site with my brother. So
Okay.
he taught me a lot before I actually got a job.
What's
And
what's the age gap between you and your brother?
10 years, 10 years,
Wow. So
10 years,
by the
10
time
years.
you finished university,
He'd
he'd
yeah, yeah,
already
yeah,
excelled in his career. He was in
yeah,
the
yeah,
middle of his career, so
yeah,
you could learn from him, you could go to
yeah,
his site, you could
yeah,
sit down with him, talk to him about your
yeah,
jobs, about university, about all
yeah.
the coursework that you had.
That's
So
it. That's it. That's it.
that's a real good thing to
It
have
is.
on board,
So I got offered a job with a company because that I'd had experience, and I didn't have to finish. Well, you can choose to stay on at university to get your honours degree, but I was quite happy to leave, and they would take me with just a bachelor's. So I went and worked with them for 18 months, and at the time they had about 5 or 6 projects. They were building schools around Scotland, and each school was between 20 and 30 million pounds. So they were
Wow.
big projects. So
Wow.
I get in that company. It's a company called Ogilvy Construction, and they worked. I worked with them for 18 months, and then after a year, that's when the credit crunch happened, and
Yep.
I actually handed in my notice because I wanted to go travelling. So I went to Australia for a year, and I went to Australia and Thailand on the way over. And then
Wow.
when I come back, the credit crunch was even worse, and I tried to get a job.
Did you take a year? Did you take a year off, or was it like 6 months or something like that?
No, so basically, I said to them that I was handing in my notice, and I knew that they couldn't. They basically said, "Look, because they'd actually let a lot of people go, and I was one of the one persons that they kept on. So they did say to me, "Look, if you do go, I don't think you might like. We can't guarantee you'll get a job when you come back." And I says that's okay. So I went away for basically 12 months. And then when I
Okay.
came back, I decided that I wanted to try and get a job back with them, but they were in a worse position because they let even more people go. So at that point there, my brother said to me, "Why don't you set up your own company and just try and get onto a site and do like some contracting work?" And then that was the best decision I made, because when you work for yourself, obviously you know yourself, and you get paid a lot more money if you're self-employed. And in
And
my
you can
case,
and especially you can pick and choose what you want to do, right?
that's it.
There's no
That's it.
pressure. All you got to
That's
do
it.
is get on with your work, get it done, and that's it. Especially in the
That's it.
contracting business, obviously, where I run my own property business, it's not like it's a contract or anything. But when it comes to subcontracting, it's pretty much easy because you're already there on
Yeah.
site,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
site is moving along, and they base you on a particular job that you're given, and you finish that off
Yeah.
and then move on. So
Yeah.
it must have been pretty easy in terms of getting those jobs. I just want to take you into traveling, where you went to Australia and,
Mhm.
and to Thailand. Why did you make that decision up about you wanted to go? I mean, was it the credit crunch, or was it just you
No,
had that dream in mind one day that you want to go
no,
out and travel?
it was actually when I worked with a company called Ogilvy Construction. My boss, when I got there, so when I get in there, I was a trainee, a site engineer, and my boss, who was the project manager, who basically ran the whole job, he liked to travel, and he actually said to me, because at this point I was only 21 and he was about 45, 48, and he said to me, "You should go away somewhere like Australia. You should go and travel." And I said to him, "No, I'm quite happy here." And he used to say to me every day, "Why are you in Scotland? Go and travel." And then he kept on saying it to me. So I then had a look, and then I then thought, you know what, maybe I could go and do that. So I decided to go and travel, because he kind of put it in my head that you should go and see the world. So I decided to book the flights, and he was happy. So my boss was like, it's as if he was trying to get rid of me, but he was doing it in a good way. He was saying, "Go travel." And then I was planning on going myself, and then five of my friends decided to say that I'm coming as well. So they all left their jobs, and then we all went to Australia together for a
Okay.
year.
So you all went there together, you all stayed together, you all experienced life there together,
Yeah.
and then
So some people
obviously,
went to New Zealand. Some people
okay,
went to New Zealand. I went to Sydney. I stayed there for 8 months, and I worked for a small house builder. So I
okay,
actually did a bit of labouring work. So I was a civil engineer, well, a setting out engineer to trade. So I was the guy that basically did all the technical things in terms of telling me to build it. But then when I was over there, I just wanted a no pressure job where I was basically digging holes, I was knocking down walls, and it was the hardest work I've ever done in my life because it was so hot. And but it was good though, because it was good to be on the tools. I liked that side of the work as well, but it was hard work.
so you sort of took a break, but you didn't take a break, and you saw the
Yeah,
world along with
that's
that
it.
as well.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And it
That's
was good
amazing.
money. I mean, at the time over there, as a labourer, I was making $1,000 a week, and that was working from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, and that was only
Wow.
so that was about 600, probably about £700, and that was for a labourer. So it worked out like $20 an hour,
What do laborers make here? What is it? What, 200,
a,
300
a
pounds a
lab,
week?
I would say like a good labourer, you could probably say 350, £400, maybe 500. Do you know what I mean? But like that's max, that kind of max. But again, it just kind of depends on what kind of job you're doing. It depends who your boss is. But I thought
Of
that the
course,
thought the pay in Australia was very good. It was very good.
they're more generous, I guess.
I say they're more generous, but slightly
Anyone
more
listening and you're
expensive.
looking for a generous labor pay, go back to Australia. Go to Australia, you'll find.
That's it, definitely, definitely.
Um, so you came back and then you started your own company. How's
Yeah,
that been going? You mentioned that it's been good with subcontracting and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But over the last, what, 10 years it's been since you
Mhm.
came back from Australia and you started your company.
Yeah.
How has the journey been over the 10 years of running your own company, doing it
Mhm.
yourself? Do you
Yeah.
have a team that you hire in
No,
terms of?
so I've mainly been a one-man band. So when I say that I've run a company, I've set up a limited company. It's just better for tax reasons. So I have been doing that for the last, probably the last seven. No, it is closer to 10 years, because the first job I did was I mainly specialise in airports just now, so I work on places like Gatwick and Heathrow.
Got
I'm
you.
now working up in an RAF base, but it's been good because I've
So are
worked
you
with.
currently based in London, or are you in Scotland?
I'm in Scotland. I'm in the
Okay.
north of Scotland in
Okay.
an RAF base. And in an RAF base, so whereabouts all the Typhoon fighter jets take off, we are basically building a new runway for them. So it's been great. But the thing is that as much as I've got my own company, I don't like if I don't turn up, I don't get paid. So
Yeah.
I've also got a friend who is in construction as well, and he's got a labour hire company where he supplies men to the jobs.
Okay.
So I've started doing some things with him where he supplies the men, and I've been helping him get his foot in the door with companies that I'm with or companies I've known.
Got you. So you're sort of you're both helping each other out in
That's
terms
it.
of where
That's it.
you need the employees, he's
Yeah.
supplying you with the employees, and
That's
where
it.
he needs the jobs,
Yeah.
you're supplying him with the jobs. But then
That's
both
it.
of your names are
That's
going
it.
forward.
That's it.
That's
That's it. That's it.
that is
That's
amazing.
it.
That's
That's
the
it.
way friends should work and
Yeah.
look after each other, because that's what it's about, right? It's about
Definitely.
values. It's not just money, or it's not just experience, or it's not becoming rich, but it's becoming rich together, making other people
Yeah.
do what you're doing, see what you're seeing, and getting past that. So
Yeah.
absolutely good on you for doing that. So at the moment you're in Scotland, you're doing this RAF base. I mean, I've
Yeah.
not seen any fighter jets on your Instagram. You should post them.
I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to. I've
Ah,
been told,
okay.
because we're not allowed to obviously show what we're doing in the base just for security reasons, because
Okay.
it's basically that, because that's obviously we can't post that basically. We've
Of
just been
course.
told I'm not allowed any social media, because because I would love to. I'm not allowed any social media. It's a shame,
That
because
is amazing.
that job that I'm doing up there, it's a £64 million job. So it's a big job, and the job initially, the contract was meant to be like the program for the job was about 14 months, so that's just over a year. But they're really trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
That is amazing. So tell me about your health and keeping happy coaching. How do you go,
Yeah,
how did you get on with that? You mentioned that you got your coaching 5 years ago from someone
yeah,
else who taught you
yeah.
how to diet, which I need some of. Look at that.
I'll help you,
Um,
mate. No bother.
yeah, it's good that the phone just looks at the face, not at the bottom. So, um, so what is it that you do in terms of coaching people to lead a healthy life and a happier life? How does that work? What do you tell them? How do you coach them? I
Okay.
mean, I've seen some
So
of your Instagram stories and what you
yeah,
do and how
yeah,
you're talking about keeping fit and everything, but
yeah.
do take me through it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So I'll tell you kind of why I do it. First of all, I kind of touched on that before. I was somebody when I was younger who struggled with my weight, and 5 years ago I hired a coach, and this was a coach who he basically taught me how to diet. He taught me how to work out my calories and things, and also just how to eat healthier food. So a lot of times, like I was confused when I was younger about what foods are healthy, how much to eat of certain foods, when to train, when not to train, and I now learn how to do that. And I like to help people, especially people in construction, because people in construction are very, very busy. Construction, and I would imagine you're somebody who works long hours, and it's very, very easy to use the excuse that you've not got time to go to the gym, you've not got time to eat healthy, and a lot of times people don't know what healthy food is.
But laborers are one of those guys that would keep fit, right? They
Yes,
would keep because they carry such load.
they carry stuff. Yeah,
They're working. They're
yeah,
sometimes in the heat. I mean, let's say 4 months of summer out here. They're
yeah,
constantly working in the sun.
yeah,
All that kind of stuff. So you would imagine that they would be
yeah,
fit and
yeah.
healthy.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. When I say so I help people in construction that way as well. But you also as well is that you'll find that a lot of people in construction, and this is what I've just found, is like we eat a lot of crap because it's a very, very easy place to go and buy some crap from the shop, and
yep,
if
go
you're
to
not
Tesco's and
prepared,
get a 3 pound deal.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
So a lot of times they might be carrying extra weight because they're just consuming too many calories. So it could be at night time that they go home and they binge and crap. I just watch people what they eat at lunchtime and things like that. And the things that they'll eat is like a staple is a sandwich and a packet of crisps and a chocolate bar and a coffee with a couple of sugars in it. So it's stuff there where it's not really food that's going to give you any kind of nutritional value. A lot of people don't eat much protein, and I like to educate people saying it's good to have a good amount of protein in your diet. One, it's good for your muscles to recover, but two, it's good to keep you fuller for longer. I try and get people to eat more vegetables. I try and get people to understand that a lot of times people, when they go on diets, they say that, oh, I can't have any carbohydrates. And I like to show people that you can still have good food. You just have to keep an eye on how much you have of the food. And if you're working out a lot and you're exercising a lot, then you can have more food. But if you're somebody,
I mean, what's the average calories that one should take?
Well, it is completely different for each person, but I think like a good kind of starting point, it obviously depends on the size of you. So I'm round about 80 odd kilos. So for someone like me to kind of sit roughly at the weight, like to sit roughly at the same weight, if I was doing like a 10,000 steps a day, then I would say you could safely say around about 2,000 calories is a good thing to start at. And then if you were having that over 3 or 4 meals or 3 meals and a couple of snacks, and try your best each time you have a meal, have some protein in there. Okay. That's a good way to see how you are. And
protein meaning chicken, eggs,
fish,
meat,
steak, things like that.
Yep.
And again, that's just what's worked for me. Now, you don't have to eat protein, but because I like to train, I like to go to the gym, I like to lift weights. It is essential for me to have protein in my diet so that I can try and develop my body as well. But what I would say to people is that this is a good wee tip. There's an app called MyFitnessPal. So if anyone's watching this back, it's an app called MyFitnessPal, and that allows you to put in your calories, what you eat. So a good tip is that if you're not happy the way you look right now, and let's say you're carrying an extra bit of weight, then what you want to do is that you put everything you eat inside the app, and the app will say, right, Graham, you're having 3,000 calories right now. But what I would do is I would say, right, let's just drop your calories by 500, but then let's just try and change your food up a wee bit. So you might be eating lots of carbs, lots of pastas, lots of cheeses, but there's lots of calories in them, and you can maybe just reduce the amount of cheeses and fats you have a bit more protein, and drop your calories. And if you drop them 500 a day, then that's near enough 25%. It's probably more than that of a descent in your calories. And if you do that consistently, then the chances are you're going to lose weight. And that's a good tip to kind of see, because if you know how much calories are going in your body and you're overweight, then all you have to do is drop your calories, or you have to exercise more. And that's a good way to basically create what's called a calorie deficit.
Of course. I mean, I've been to, awareness kind of shows, and even once I'd gone to a local pharmacy to pick up some medicine, and they put a table there for sugar awareness. Yeah. And they put all those, they put the Red Bull, the Lucozade, the Coke, and all those things out there. And then they put bags of sugar with those drinks.
Next to, I know, it's mental.
To show you how much sugar goes into each can of Coke or a can of Red Bull. You know, you think that, okay, yes, you want that drink, but then at the end of it, all you're drinking is sugar into your body. And if you do want to drink, have a cold glass of water, or a cold bottle of water, or whatever it is. But you're right that people should control their calories in terms of seeing what they eat, and then obviously losing weight through maintaining those calories, and then keeping fit by going for exercise. I'm saying all this stuff, and look at that. I mean, I think I'll have to get some coaching from you, Graham.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely. But it's been absolutely amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on here, sharing of what you've achieved in life and how you've achieved it and how you've gone. I mean, everyone possibly may not have a big brother to inspire them. But when they do look up to within your family, and you'll find so much inspiration that will make your path to where you want to get at. Absolutely
Yes,
amazing story. But
100%.
before you go, Greg, I want to ask you to spread positivity. You know, we've gone through a lot of negative sentiment in the past 6 months, starting of the year. You know, we're in September now, and we're seeing again all this social distancing where
Yeah,
we're just announced yesterday that we can't meet
yeah.
more than six. I mean, someone just said a joke yesterday. So if the seventh person walks in, COVID no, I mean the seventh person walks out, COVID knows to leave the room.
I know. Brilliant.
Let's not get there. But what positive advice would you like to share with the world today so that they can take that on board and move forward in life?
I think one thing that I've noticed over the last few years is like don't care what other people think. If you want to give something a go, because there's a lot of times in the past where I've wanted to try things and I've not done it because I've worried about what other people think, and you can't make everyone happy in this world, so there's no point in trying to do that. So I think that do what's good for you, because you become a better person if you do something that you like. If you don't like what you're doing, or you don't feel good about yourself, then you're not really going to spread much love. But if you are confident in yourself and you're enjoying what you're doing, then you'll be a better dad, a better mum, a better wife. And I believe
A
that
better individual.
that's it. That's it. And I believe that in order to be your best, you have to feel your best. And I always like to say to people that you want to treat yourself and your body, your mind as $1 million racehorse. So you want to do everything you
Absolutely.
can to make it work well. And if you do that,
Absolutely.
then you're going to. I think that it's going to help you out a lot. But I don't think it will, because it's helped me a lot.
Super. But thank you so much for coming on here, sharing all that knowledge with us, sharing that positivity with us. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very
And
much.
I hope that runway that you're building out in Scotland
Yeah,
may have many fighter jets flying over them too, you
yeah,
know, and it's one of those things that you feel proud of, right? You put your
yeah,
blood,
yeah,
sweat, and tears into
yeah,
it to
yeah,
where someone like the Royal Air Force is using
yeah,
it
yeah.
to fly their jets. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you very much for asking. See you soon, buddy.
Take care. See you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye. So guys, that was Graham talking about how he started his business, how he was inspired by his brother to start his civil engineering career, and then during the out, and he started his business, and also that he coaches people in keeping their life healthier and happier. Do check him out if you're looking for any advice on keeping fit in life or trying to find that sort of diet to keep calories at bay. So thank you so much to Graham for joining me. Thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. It's been a pleasure to have you, and I shall see you again. Take care. Bye bye.